had the pleasure this summer of demonstrating a wireless card for my notebook. It was a little cellular modem that gave me access to the internet over the cellular network. It was fast, it was easy to use, and very convenient. Unfortunately, it was also just a demo, and I had to send it back. I miss it, though. I miss it a lot. Not enough, of course, to actually go and buy one myself, but I do miss it. So I started looking for replacement options, and I came up with a new twist on an old technique, using my cell phone as a modem. Now, I use a BlackBerry now, so a little search on the web led me to the answer, a document that shows me how to use my BlackBerry as a modem. Now, I thought you might like to see the process. Now, on the Geek Meter, this was probably a 5 out of 10. Not too difficult, but it involves enough diving into things to keep it interesting. Plus, you will really impress your more nerdish friends. Now, this version of the BlackBerry that I use is Bluetooth capable. So I can actually do everything that I'm doing here wirelessly using Bluetooth. But I prefer using this tethered USB connection. Now, there are several reasons for this, but the overriding one is I don't want to drain my BlackBerry's battery using both Bluetooth and the modem function. Instead, it's charging while connected to my laptop, so I'm not going to end up with a dead cell phone after my browsing session. Now, let's go to the document and take a look at what happens. Basically, you have to walk through this document all the way. Now, the reason I like this document so much is they've tested a lot of the models, and they also give you instructions for a variety of different carriers. So if we look here, I can actually find Rogers details here that I need in order to make my BlackBerry work. So you scroll down, do a little bit of reading, and the first step you have to do is connect your BlackBerry to your computer. And you do that using the BlackBerry Connection Manager, the desktop manager. So you have to make sure that the connection is first established, because we'll use that initial handshake to make everything else happen. Then we have to check that the modem drivers are installed. Now, typically the modem drivers get installed when you install the BlackBerry Desktop Manager. Now, if they haven't been properly installed for some reason, they give you instructions here about deleting the initial installation, then reinstalling to make sure that your modem drivers are in place. Then we go to step 7 here. We have to verify that the modem is functioning. This is a really important step, because if this isn't working perfectly, the rest of the process will become an exercise in frustration. So they give us instructions here to go in to the control panel, which we find in our Windows menu. Now, I've got the Windows Vista running here. If you are in Vista and you can't find the modem settings, just go back to the classic view, which gives us the old-fashioned view of all of our control panel items. And very easily here we can find there are our phone and modem options. We open that up. When we do that, we go into the modem setting, and then we go and find the modem that we're going to be using, which is the standard modem. I actually have several modems installed on my notebook here. One of them is the internal classic modem, and the other two here are the wireless modems that I was talking about that I tested earlier this year. But I'm going to go into the properties of the standard modem, which is what the BlackBerry modem will become, go into the Diagnostics tab, and then query the modem. And this creates a dialog between my computer and the modem, asking the modem all of its settings. And there's a list of all of the settings in my modem. And if I go back and check the document here, it should match up exactly with what it says in the document. If that's all in place, I can proceed. If not, I have to troubleshoot and make sure that I get it so that the modem is saying these proper things back. The next stage that we had to do is we had to actually go in and we had to set up the initialization string. If you remember the old days when we used to have dial-up modems, the initialization string is what set the modem up and told it how to talk back and forth to our computer and ultimately to the internet. And here is our initialization string here for the Rogers users, which I am, right there. We go back into our phone settings here, we go into the Advanced tab, and we put the extra initialization commands in here. Now you see I've already successfully installed them. You basically copy them, paste them in there, and then save it, and then the modem is ready to talk to the computer. And we're almost home. We've actually done all of the hardest part. The next thing we need to do, if we scroll down, all of the directions are here, is we have to create a new internet connection. We go into Windows again, we go into Connect To, and that will allow us to create a new connection. Now, I've already created my connection here, so I'm actually going to use that as an example rather than going through the whole process with you, because you'll see all the key information that I had to enter. I'm going to click on the BlackBerry modem right now, and I'm going to ask it to connect. But before I do, I want to point out that I'm not online right now. If I go out on the internet, if I try and go on the internet, I don't have any connection. My Wi-Fi network here is turned off. So I'm going to be using the modem here as my connection to the internet. So I'm going to choose the BlackBerry modem, click Connect, and up will come a dialog box that has all of my user ID settings. Now, this is all information, once again, that's in the document, and depending on the carrier, you're going to have a different username and password. So since I'm a Rogers client, I use the name that they gave me to use on the Rogers network and the password. I click Dial, and it is now connecting to the modem. We don't actually see anything happen on the BlackBerry, but we will see all of the detail documented here on our screen. I'm now connected. It says I'm successfully connected to a BlackBerry modem. If I close this window down and I go to my web browser, I'm going to open up a new window in my web browser. And let's go to Dotto Tech. That seems like a good place to go. Let's see if it loads. Indeed, I have success. So now I'm connecting to the internet over my BlackBerry. I really like this. Now, as far as speed goes, it's not as fast as you're going to get from a Wi-Fi connection, but typically speaking, when I'm using hotspots, I'm not finding that great a speed anyways. So you're probably not going to want to use this for doing things like downloading large files or doing any video type work, but for simple web browsing, for doing searches, for doing email, it works very well. Now, I actually use my modem quite a bit now. I know there's a ton of hotspots out there, but I got to tell you, I hate spending $10 just to do a little web browsing or send a quick email. So this has become a really simple and elegant way to access the web without breaking the bank. I haven't added any new hardware. I haven't opened any new accounts. It's a worthwhile digital do-it-yourself project.